Is the Burning Crusade the true Classic Plus? In this video, I'll be talking about where I think Season of Discovery went wrong, including everyone's favourite activity, incursions, $90 mounts, the issues that surround a potential Classic Plus, and Classic WoW's development in general, and what I think Blizzard should do going forward. Before we dive deeper into it though, a word from today's sponsor. Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus is an exciting turn-based tactical strategy game set in the eternal conflict of Game Workshop's Warhammer 40,000 universe. You bring some of the universe's most powerful warriors to lightning-fast tactical skirmishes, where you're in full control and only superior tactics can deliver victory. Expand your collection across multiple factions to find new tactical possibilities as you bring your troops to battle and sweep the galaxy clear of all resistance. New players and grizzled fans of the Warhammer universe will find challenge in Tacticus as they progress and compete in various game modes, including PvE campaigns, PvP, live events, guild raids, and much more. The main issue when it comes to the idea of Classic Plus is Blizzard refusing to give Classic WoW the necessary funding and resources to create something that truly aligns with the vanilla world and playstyle, and the fact developers would need to abandon their retail WoW philosophies to be able to work on a spiritual successor for vanilla WoW that expands and improves upon it, without drastically changing and morphing the core gameplay into something completely unrecognizable, which is what I personally found jarring about Season of Discovery, a seasonal game mode that completely distorts the pillars of vanilla WoW's philosophies and gameplay under the guise of being Classic Plus More, which many have dubbed as Retail Minus or Season of Disappointment, due to high expectations set by keywords Blizzard themselves used during BlizzCon 2023 in order to generate hype for the season. As of now, the season has pretty much lost all momentum due to extremely lengthy leveling phases, dramatic changes, and a lack of new endgame content. I can't see it happening, but even if Blizzard did create new raids for the remaining phases, I don't think it would be enough to turn the tide after the failure of Phase 3 and the fact it took them almost a year to allow players to hit level 60. I think a lot of players were hoping there'd be new dungeons and raids at 60 due to how long the previous phases were, and all we really got was Season of Mastery raids with a few gimmicks, and Demon Falls Canyon, which wasn't even a planned dungeon. So in essence, Season of Discovery has, so far, been a massive rug pull for players who thought they'd get revamped or brand new endgame content. Whilst everyone watching this will have a different vision for Classic Plus, Season of Discovery is the complete opposite of what I'd imagine Classic Plus to be. It lacks direction and shows that the developers are fairly incompetent when it comes to understanding and respecting vanilla WoW's friction and gameplay. Whilst I understand the season is an experiment, it's an experiment under the premise of being an alpha test for Classic Plus, and all it's done is prove the point that the developers don't have what it takes to faithfully improve upon the game without destroying what makes it special. The worst part is the damage caused by opening Pandora's box for abilities. God forbid if Blizzard actually did a Classic relaunch, because now you'd have a portion of people upset they don't have Crusader Strike or Star Surge. Whilst I'm not against adding some abilities, I think they went way too overboard with the current season, which alienated a portion of the player base. I will say though, I think Battle for Ashenvale and the Blood Moon are cool concepts, and with some improvements could work out great. But even in 2024, Blizzard's servers still can't handle these events without insane lag. The Classic team expanding Azeroth is incredibly unlikely, considering they only just managed to convince the WoW art team to create something. And what was that? A giant floating ball in molten core. This probably took them 5 minutes, and I bet they hated every second of it. Convincing the art team to expand upon existing areas or create new areas would be like asking a billionaire for $10. And besides, they're way too busy making the next $90 mount for retail to truly dedicate resources to Classic WoW, the despised and neglected stepson that kept Warcraft relevant during its worst years. From a business standpoint, why would they dedicate resources to Classic when they can literally create a $90 mount and everyone on retail buys it because it has a goddamn mailbox? The only things the art team truly does for Classic is create retail style pets and mounts for expansion relaunches, which is how I know Classic will get every expansion until it's caught up to retail so they can milk it dry. And don't get the wrong idea, I would absolutely love a faithful Classic Plus, but I just can't see it happening anytime soon. Even if they had the funding and resources, the complete disregard for Vanilla's philosophies would make it disastrous. We've already had a sneak peek of Blizzard's vision for Classic Plus with Season of Discovery, and whilst there are people out there that enjoy it, it doesn't bode well for me personally. A version of Vanilla where the world isn't a threat kills the immersive experience of Vanilla, a game that's meant to be all about the journey. Let's not forget Blizzard implementing incursions, saying they absolutely love them and think they're great for the game. I remember waking up the morning of Phase 3 and people were already level 50 with 1,000 gold, running the same monotonous loop around Ashenvale. In what reality is that faithful to Vanilla WoW? I can't count how many times I've scratched my head with various decisions made with this season, wondering who they're trying to cater for. A wise man once said that a game created for everyone is a game created for no one, and I think they need to figure out who their target audience is for Classic, and hopefully sooner rather than later. I think it would be great for Blizzard to improve upon Classic, similar to how Jagex improves upon old school RuneScape. However, I think the core differences between these two companies is that one is trying to convert their players to play retail and buy $90 mounts for maximum profit, and the other actually understands what their audience wants and faithfully develops the game in a way that respects its core gameplay and philosophies. And here we have the Burning Crusade, the best expansion ever made for Warcraft. I must admit, I am biased towards this expansion as it's my favourite one, but I think, considering the factors involved around Classic's lack of funding and direction with development, that the Burning Crusade is the true Classic Plus for me. 2 new playable races, a ton of new zones, great challenging raids, fun PvP, amazing atmosphere, and it has Illidan. So do I really need to say more? I could go on and on about TBC for hours. However, I think a lot of people can look back and recognise that it's simply an S-tier expansion that's as close as it gets to vanilla. The only change I'd make to TBC is making Bloodlust raid-wide with a sated debuff. I think the expansion can stand on its own 2 feet as the greatest, and I would happily play vanilla, TBC and Wrath on an infinite loop. And I think for the time being, Blizzard should relaunch Classic with a progressive server that goes through all 3 of them again, so they can buy time to figure out their target audience and what Classic Plus should actually be. And then hopefully we get something that faithfully sticks to the game's core philosophies and principles. What do you think though? Leave a comment down below. Massive thanks to Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus for sponsoring the video. Be sure to go and check it out with the link down below. TBC Hype, TBC Hype.